What's up, my dudes? Back at it again with another video. In the last video, you might have seen we weren't able to get this thing actually started, but today we're going to. He's bringing down a starter, coolant, water, and we are going to see if that starter works. I'm pulling this one off. I'm going to take it to Advanced somewhere close and see if they can test it and see if it's good. If it is good, then I think I just really need to add more grounds, which that's no biggie. I'm gonna add another one before I leave here. So yeah, so we're gonna get, as soon as he gets here, we're gonna get everything ironed out for this thing, get back on the laptop and get this thing fired up, because just hearing it crank got him super excited. This engine's actually been built over a year ago by Rollo, built and degreed by Rollo himself. So he's that excited that he wants to hear it run like as soon as possible. So we're gonna I'm gonna get the base map on there. We're gonna get it started running. We're gonna warm it up. After it's warmed, I'm gonna iron out some of the fuel once it's warmed up, and we're gonna turn it off. We need to change the oil and get back into it another day. We can change the oil and start actually driving the vehicle. So we'll see what happens, but we're gonna, as soon as he gets here, we're gonna get started and get things cracking. All right, so I got the starter off. I'm gonna go get it tested and seatbelt, safety first, and see if it's any good. I operated it while it was on the floor, and it worked. It sounded weird, but it worked. And then I put it on the car and jumped the terminal with the battery on, jumped the terminal from the power to the signal, and it spun the motor over, but it wouldn't work through the switch. So I'm gonna get it tested. I think the starter's just bad, because this solenoid has power and ground through the body of the starter, but the actual actuator motor, I don't know. I'm just gonna see, I guess. I'm thinking it's not getting, it doesn't have a full connection maybe to the body or something, or maybe there's just not enough ground. We're gonna find out though, but I'm taking it to go get tested now and we'll see what happens. Okay, turns out starter's good. That's great. Now we just got to figure out what the issue is. I'm thinking it's probably a ground issue, so I'm going to actually take off his clutch cable bracket, sand the underneath so that it makes a good connection, because this is sanded here, that's sanded there, but this is probably completely painted underneath. And I'm also going to add another ground to one of these brackets right here, and to the chassis if I can find another bolt. And I think that'll be good, hopefully, yeah. So we'll see. I'm thinking it's a ground issue though, so I'm gonna get cracking, put this alternator back in real quick. Put this starter back in real quick, clean up some grounds, and then I will show you what happens. Sorry about the fan noise, it's a little hot in here, but something interesting, just like the fuse box screw on the fuse, these were loose. So I sanded the top and the bottom underneath to see if it'll make a better connection. I'm thinking if that was it and it was just them being loose, they were loose, I'm gonna have to go over the car and just make sure everything's tight, because I do not want to mishap with someone else's car. So I'm gonna go over all the bolts before we actually drive the vehicle, but those were loose. So we'll see what happens. I am going to put the starter in and see if it works. If that was the issue, bro, oh well, we'll find out. All right, I've got the starter back on. I got it all hooked up. Ejectors are unplugged. Distributor is unplugged. I'm gonna hook up the battery real quick. And we're gonna see if those two loose bolts were the issue. You ready? Bro, are you kidding me? Let's make sure it's not a fluke. Boy, one more time. Jesus. Hey, easy shit, okay? So the bracket that holds the cable for the clutch,
Yeah.
the ground is bolted to that. Those bolts holding the bracket there were loose. That was the whole problem. So I took off the bolts, sanded underneath where it touches the trans and the top where the bolt touches. Tightened it back down. No, I tried it 3 times. So, all right, Ty showed up, brought the coolant. We got his overflow tank hooked up. We'll see how that operates. Starter works as you saw in the last clip. So we're just gonna clean up the bay, get oil pressure, and then hook up the laptop and see if she fires. Okay. Distributor's unplugged, injectors are unplugged. We're gonna prime it with oil. Go ahead, key on. Go ahead, key, start it, crank till like okay, it's off. I cranked it a little bit earlier, so. All right, cool. We're gonna get the injectors plugged in and see if she fires. Okay. All right, we're live. Let's see if she fires. Battery sounded a little low, but we'll see what happens.
Good to go?
Yep.
Should I hold it at like 2,000?
No, well, see if it kicks on first, and then once it's on, then you can hope. No, we have to put coolant in it yet. So we're just gonna see if it fires. Sweet! Ready to get some coolant in it. I actually might retension the belt because it is just a little bit loose, but it'll need, once it breaks in, like after 50 miles or so, you have to retension the belt. So, hey, that's exciting. That's really exciting. The smoke you saw was from the cap full of oil I put in each cylinder to help seal it with first start. That's good. We're gonna put coolant in it. We're gonna check the oil, and we're gonna get it its first warm-up cycle. So I'm gonna move my car. We're gonna try and turn his car around so the gases go outward, and then get it a full warm-up. So, all right, we got coolant in it. I tensioned the timing belt because it seemed a little bit loose, but also was cold engine. So once the engine expands, it'll get a little tighter. I just put a little tension on it now so that we don't have any issues. We're gonna start it. I'm gonna monitor some things on the computer. We're gonna get this cooling system bled and go from there. We'll probably shut it off once it's up to temp. We gotta change the oil after the first break-in, first warm-up cycle. So we'll have to get oil and change the oil and just monitor it, look at it, see if there's anything in it. Hopefully there's nothing. Doesn't seem like there wasn't anything on the stick other than oil. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it on and get this thing bled. All right, we got the shit out the way. Battery's connected, key on. Get live with the ECU. Everything looks good. All right, go ahead. Yep. Priming again. One sec. All right, good. Give it a little bit. Oh, that's right. Go ahead, start it. guys a little bit of play there. How's it looking? Does it look like it's bleeding pretty good? Okay. All right, I got the AFR reading in the ECU, so now we can adjust some things. Car is getting warm because the coolant fan actually is not hooked up. It's hooked up to a switch, and the switch is not hooked up. So I'm gonna put my industrial fan right in front of the radiator right here, and get her a little warm, get her a little cooled off, hopefully, so I can adjust some of this idle AFR, and just get this thing kind of smoothed out a little bit so that it wants to run. It was a little lean at idle. I think that's why it's also got a little warm. It's because it was a little lean. It was about 17 AFR, so we're gonna get some fuel in there and see what happens. Okay, this might be hard for you guys to see, but I'm gonna be adjusting some of the low portions, the AFR. We're gonna start it, keep it running, and just adjust some of the fueling so that it can stay running. I think we have an air pocket, or this thing's getting pretty warm. Yeah, I think we have an air pocket though. Okay, so ran into an issue. I'm trying to add some fuel here and there, low RPMs, and coolant temp got to 220, 227 actually. I started off right away. Top rad hose is extremely hot. Radiator is cold, lower hose is cold. So I'm thinking it's a thermostat issue. So we're gonna get a thermostat in this thing. Next time you see me, we'll be putting a thermostat in and getting back to this idle situation, getting this thing sorted out. I didn't expect it to get that high in heat. So I think just a thermostat and we'll be good. So we're gonna, next time you see me, we'll pick it up there. All right, boys, we back. Picked up a thermostat for this thing so we can get thermostat done, drain the coolant. I'm gonna try and catch what I can. I bought oil for an oil change, so we're going to get the oil changed out as well, and get the break-in oil in this thing. So coolant first, change the thermostat, and then bust out an oil change, and then we'll get back to this tuning thing. Now the only issue we're still having, or we're still gonna have, is his fan is on a switch. But I got him a 170-degree thermostat. That way it stays cooler, even whenever his fan isn't on. That way it just, you know, has more cooling time, I guess. So as long as he's moving, the car's not going to overheat. It's going to run nice and cool. But if he's idling for too long and the switch is not hooked up like it is right now, we might have an issue. So I'm going to have my fan on it when I do the idling again, and we're going to get this thing sorted out. I got to set the idle screw for the throttle body, and this is an issue right here. So the piece from the wire from the cable, right, it doesn't sit straight in there. So like if you open the throttle body and you slowly close it, you can see it hangs open, but I can squeeze it and it closes all the way. So he has this issue, but it's because of the cable. So I'm gonna try and turn the cable so it's more straight, so that way whenever he goes full throttle, it's straighter and it can close. That way we can have a more accurate closed throttle body idle. Basically, it's not gonna be this closed. It's probably gonna be hung open like that, but by itself, not with the tension of the throttle cable. So that's annoying right here, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna get this coolant drain, thermostat changed, oil changed, and we'll be back on to it. That looks like shit. So, what I was told is this has been in here for quite some time, so I'm gonna get a new one in and get it put back together, and hopefully it doesn't overheat. Quick rule of thumb, even if your thermostat was good, if you're rebuilding a motor, put a new one in. You don't want to fry a new motor because they have an old thermostat in here. It did operate, but it was a while ago. I don't know how long, can't remember how long it's been sitting for, but a while. And so, yeah, 3-4 years old maybe. Definitely put a new one in if you're building a motor because you definitely don't want that issue. All right, thermostat on. You want it like this. Then these two knobs will then go right here. There's 2 indents. You're gonna fit into that, and then the top half moon goes on the top half moon, and then bolt it right back up. All right, thermostat's in. That's back together. I'm gonna fill it with coolant, and then I'm going to drain the oil, change it, and then we can get back to doing some idle tuning management and shit like that. So I'm excited. You're excited? I'm excited. Let's go. All right, I saw some metallic in the oil, and just want to show you guys what it looks like. I'm assuming it's just from freshly built motors, since we didn't hear any like metallic noise other than the header flange, because that's not mounted, it's just swivels. But I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna dump out some of the oil from the oil filter and show you guys what it looks like. You guys see that, hopefully? Sorry about the flashing lights. But there's just, it's like smaller than metallic on paint. So it's very little, and that's out the oil filter. There was just a little bit in the pan. So yeah, I think that's normal, just, you know, new pistons, new bearings. I was told they're the same main bearings, but new rod bearings. I didn't put this together. I didn't choose the parts, but that's what it's here. Brand new cams. They are Brian Crower Spec 3 titanium retainers. So SuperTech valve springs. So we're gonna move ahead with the tuning. I'm gonna get the new oil in and top off the coolant and try to assess the throttle cable from sticking. As you can see, it'll stick, and then I can squeeze it closed. So I have to adjust that before we start it up again, because I want it to be able to idle. I want to set the idle with the throttle body, because there's no idle control valve. So I'm gonna put oil in it, and then we're gonna assess the throttle situation. All right, I was able to fix the throttle body, so it closes by itself. Even if I close it soft, there's no closing anymore. Like, it closed by itself. Basically what I did was, while it was open, I was able to push this up with a clamp, just push it up a little bit, and it wiggled. So I was able to wiggle it back and forth to seat where it should. So right now it won't start. Basically it would only start when it was cracked, so we'll have to crack it some to get it to start. But that's good. I'm glad that I got this fixed out, because if you would have come to like a slow stop, it wouldn't have closed all the way unless he like did that. So keep stress off the throttle body. That's nice that if you can close it slowly, it's still closed. So that's good. Oil's in it. I'm going to pull the injectors, undo the distributor, prime it, and then we can give it a start again and see if she starts. I doubt she's gonna start because the throttle body needs cracked. So no worries, we're gonna get it ironed out. All right, injectors are unplugged. Distributor's unplugged. So we are going to crank it to get oil pressure, and once the light goes out, we got oil pressure. Cool. We've got oil pressure. I'm gonna make sure there's no leaks from the sandwich plate. No leaks. We got oil pressure. I'm gonna plug in everything and see if she fires. Got the map open. Gonna plug in the USB here. Key on. Up here at the top where it's the lightning bolt, get live. Alright, I turned my computer on and off, and now it's working. So key on. I uploaded this map onto the ECU, get live, we're live. I'm gonna put both feet on the pedals and see if she starts. I know it's gonna crank, but see if she starts. I touched the gas pedal a little bit, so I'm thinking it's not gonna idle until we adjust the throttle body, but I'm gonna see if I can get it started for like 30 seconds or so. That's good. All right. I'm going to adjust the throttle body out some so that it's on its own, and then we can get into it. All right, we can see that it's closed. So I'm going to crack it about to there and see if we can get it to idle on its own, and then we can go from there. So there's the adjustment screw is right here. It's got a little 8mm, and then I believe that's a Torx bit. So we're going to loosen that, tighten this up, and see if we can get it open a little bit. Alright, just cracked the nut loose, so I'm just going to try and get it to hold it open like right there. Let's see if that works. Alright, just added some coolant, add a little bit more, seems to be taking it. We're going to see if it idles by itself now. If it does, sweet. If it doesn't, we'll adjust it out more. So let's check. So we have to set the TPS percentage, but remember holding the throttle to get it to idle had to stay around 10-11%, so see if it stays running this time. Alright, that was too high, so I'm going to adjust it down some and get to a comfortable spot. Alright, adjusted the throttle body down some, added some more coolant. Let's see if it'll do its own thing this time around. It's like once it idles for like the first few seconds, then it takes off, so. It's idling by itself. Let's see how well it does that for a while. Warm up. We're gonna have to adjust the throttle body while it's running. See if it'll stay on. Alright, I'm just gonna give the throttle like 2 turns, and it should be good from there. Alright, should start and idle by itself now. I just adjusted it a little bit, so let's see. I'll have to adjust it down some. Looks like his fuel line is leaking, and I'm gonna top this off because I think it's full. and turn it back on and see if it still acts up. Okay, I found loose intake manifold bolt. Tighten that. I'm gonna put coolant in it and cap it, and put the fan on it, and make sure that the thermostat opens. Cause this feels warm. Like I think it might be opening, but it took a while. So there's no fan. I wish there was a factory fan, that way the fan could come on when it starts to get warm. That's not the case. So industrial it is for now. All right, wait till the wide band comes online, although it is open header, so we're not really gonna be able to read anything. I'm gonna start it, see if it idles a little better, and go from there. Alright, it's not skyrocketing on the engine coolant temp, so that's good. I want it to idle around like 1500, but the cams are so large, or whatever's going on, that there's like no vacuum down there, so it's kind of hard for it to idle. It wants to, I mean, they're big cams, so obviously, but you know, you don't want that. I don't know if the cams are so big and they need more, like, the cams need to be widened apart so they're not so much overlap. Basically, that's what I'm saying. So that could be it. But it also has a fuel leak that we need to take care of. So I'm gonna hit him up, tell him about that, and we'll catch right back up. All right, it just poured and water got in, but I did manage to get this drain unclogged, so that's pretty good. I can sweep water into that. There's not much more I can do other than trying to iron out some of the fueling, but like I can't read the fuel because it's open header. So, and I can't drive it because there's 2 lug nuts on this wheel, 2 on that wheel, 2 on that wheel, 4 over there. So I can't even drive the car to even see if the fueling is good, but it seems like it revs fine. But I am gonna sort out the idle a little bit. I'm gonna lower it a little more and see if it likes that. So I'm gonna start the car up, turn the fan on again, and just see if I can dial it in a little bit more. I need lug nuts for the wheels, and I need to do a bolt check because there's a few bolts that I checked that were loose. So yeah, I'm just gonna get the idle ironed out a little bit more. Okay. So TPS is at, actually reads now, so that's good. TPS is at 1%. Let's get that straightened out. All right, it's reading. Might need more fuel whenever it's uncranking, so that's good. I'm happy with that. We definitely need to get an exhaust on it, and this stuff can be ironed out way smoother and way quicker. So yeah, until then, deuces.